Morning. Haven't got much time today. The weather forecast says it's going to rain, so I've come out for a couple of hours and I've came to Sutton Park. I've come to try and get some autumn colours off the trees and that. It's my favourite time of year for photography, but I normally go out taking like landscape photos and things like that. But because I haven't got much time today, I can't really go anywhere, so I've just thought, well, I'll go to Sutton Park quick and see if I can just get some of the colours, obviously before I miss them all. You know, autumn's over and winter's here and the leaves are all gone. I also want to say before I go any further, I honestly don't plan on getting any good photos today. I'm absolutely hopeless at woodland photography. I just find, to me, everything looks messy, nothing looks interesting. It looks interesting as a big whole, you know, an whole view, but when you try and put and isolate it into one specific photo, I struggle. I really do struggle. I haven't had much practice at it, but the practice I've had no success. See what happens. I thought I'd carry on with my tips for beginners while I'm here, because I don't think I'll have many photos to show you. God, it's cold today. I wish I'd brought my big coat. So I'll crack on. I think I've got 10 for you today. 10 little tips that have helped me. So before I go any further, time for the disclaimer. Right, so now that's out of the way. Camera equipment. When you're buying camera equipment, it's like a minefield, I find. There's that much out there. There's that many things to decide. You know, what you want, how many megapixels you want. Do you want full frame? Do you want crop frame? Do you want a good camera for low light? Do you want a camera that's good for videography as well? There's just a lot to choose from. And I don't think that there is a perfect camera out there. There's a camera that does different things for different subjects. No, not different subjects, different kind of genres of photography, if you like. There's cameras that do good shutter rates, good focusing. When I say shutter rates, I mean, you know, burst rates, can take more photos quickly in succession. There's photos that are better for videography. There's photos that have got more megapixels in them, so for resolution. So it's not about picking the best camera. I don't think there is a best camera. It depends on what you want your camera to do. So think about what you want your camera to do. If you're, you know, in the field for buying a new camera, think about the things you want from your camera and take it from there. Or just generally try and find the best kind of all-round one that does a bit of everything, which is why I chose my camera. But obviously, moving on, I kind of realise now, you know, I've got more into photography. I kind of realise now that I want a camera that handles low light better. I want a camera that's got more megapixels, so I can crop down to a specific item and not lose the detail. So yeah, that was my first tip really. Don't think there's one camera out there that's just amazing and better than anyone else's, because at the end of the day, it's what you want it for and why you want that camera. So yeah, that was my first tip. Camera equipment, just go and get what suits you. Go and get what will do the job for you. Tip number 3, accept criticism and don't take it to heart. Normally when you show your photos to your friends, your family, they're not going to turn around and say, oh, I don't like that, oh, that's rubbish, or nah. They're going to turn around and say, yeah, that's really good. Post your photos on social media sites, on other photography sites, and ask for criticism. Ask, say, what do you think? and say that you can handle the criticism. Learn from their advice. Not everyone will like the same photo. In fact, nobody likes the same photo. I have took that many photos that I think, shall I post that on social media, on Facebook or whatever? And I thought, nah, it's rubbish. But I've gone ahead and posted it anyway, and loads of people have really liked it when I don't even like it myself. So it just goes to show that what you like isn't always the same as what everyone else likes and what everybody else wants to see. Take the criticism on board and learn from it. You know, if they say maybe crop in, I wouldn't have had it that light, I wouldn't have had it that dark, I'd try and take that out of the photo. Take it all on board as a learning thing. Don't take it to heart. As I said, everyone doesn't like the same thing. So look for criticism, ask for criticism, take it on board and learn from it, and don't take it to heart. Next bit of advice, editing. Don't think that all those photos you see on Instagram haven't been heavily edited. Heavily edited. Because most of them, I'd say 90% of them have. There are photographers out there that can take amazing photos without touching them up at all. But I'd say the majority of people now, 90% are using programs such as Lightroom, Photoshop, Snapseed. There's loads of different programs out there, loads of filters and stuff you can put on your photos that will improve them. Now, I've took photos in the past that have been really bad straight from the camera, but I've liked the shot and I thought, oh, I've messed that up and I don't like the colours, or the sky's overblown, blown out. And I've gone into Photoshop, spent a while and got them right. So editing, I think, is a big part of photography. Obviously, unless you're one of these people that just like the photo exactly how it comes out the camera, which is, you know, that's fine. Photography is totally how you want it to be. So try and learn some editing skills. Next tip, shooting RAW or JPEG. What's RAW, what's JPEG? JPEG is your normal photography kind of file that your phone will probably take. It'll take in JPEG, which is like a compressed form of your image basically. Now when you take your photo on a phone, such as, I don't know, say for instance an iPhone will have a different colour to it than you will get from, say, a Samsung phone. Now the colours will be slightly different, the greens might be slightly different, the reds might be a different colour, and this is all down to the phone that you're taking the photo on will have its own kind of colour science to it. So that will be embedded in the JPEG. So the plus sides of shooting in JPEGs, the files are smaller. It will automatically be kind of colour graded for you by whatever you take it on. So you might like the look of iPhone's photos, or you might like the look of Samsung's, whatever, but that's basically what a JPEG is. A RAW file or a RAW image is a flattened version of that image, so it's had no colour science added to it, and all the data is in that file for you to add your own. So all like the highlights and the darks and the shadows, it's all captured in that RAW file, and the RAW file will be a lot bigger than a JPEG. But come to editing, it's easy to pull back the darks, easy to pull back the lights. It's a lot better for editing a RAW file than a JPEG. So weighing up what you want to capture in a JPEG or a RAW, it's entirely up to you. If you don't want to do any editing, then edit it in JPEG. If you like to do the editing, I highly recommend just taking that photo in RAW. I think most cameras you can have the option to shoot in both. It'll shoot both at the same time, so it will take one JPEG, one RAW. Going back to phones now, a lot of them have like a pro camera setting in them that you can go to. You'll probably find that that's where your camera will take photos of RAW photos in your pro kind of settings. So yeah, pro and RAW, basically that's what it is. In my opinion, shooting RAW. Oh, got cramp. Next tip, lighting. Behind me, like I said, I struggle at Sutton Park. I can never find anything, but I've kind of found something. I think, oh, I'll have a look at this. I've got these big red trees and I've got this like white one in the middle. Not really a good photo, but the sun kept coming through and was shining on the red trees and it looked really nice. And now it's gone. Now initially, I think I said in my last video, as soon as you approach that scene, take that photo before things change. Things do change. The light stops coming through, it might start to rain, that bird you're taking a photo of might just disappear. So always take that first photo straight away as soon as you see it, and then spend your time. I sat down with the tripod, set the tripod up and the light disappeared. So I missed that one completely. But I thought, well, I'll do this video while I'm standing here to see if that light comes back through and it will show you what I mean. For me, shooting in the morning, as soon as sun's rising, and you get all the nice, you know, the nice rays coming through the sky looks a nice colour. For me, that's my favourite time of day. That's why I get up most of the time before sunrise and do most of my photos then. Another time is obviously sunset. Everything goes golden and the sun's really nice then. And to be honest, I haven't really been out shooting in sunset kind of times really, because I normally go out in the morning and I've been out and done my day's photography. But I've got to start making myself go out a bit more towards sunset. And then you got the time kind of just after sunset, just before sunrise, which is called blue hour. And it's called blue hour because things slightly look like a tint of blue. And again, this is really a nice time to shoot. I'm not saying you can't go out shooting in the middle of the day, because obviously you can, and especially here in England, how much sun do we get that completely blows out the sky that you can't take many photos. So you can go out shooting at all times, but for me, sunset, sunrise and blue hour, they're my favourite times, and you will get the most beautiful colours showing on whatever you're trying to take the photos of. Obviously things like sunset, sunrise don't always work for things like animals, because you know you're not going to get the exact colours. But yeah, lighting, that's my next tip. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's coming through, does it? I might move on. I suck at this. I am terrible at woodland photography, absolutely terrible. I think it's my OCD stopping me thinking anything's any good because of the mess. I mean, it's not rubbish, I don't mean that, I mean too much going on and I can't find anything. All the nice trees, you know, the real big oaks, twisted oaks and that, they're all on the main kind of drag that I've got like a road next to it, and I don't want that. I want it all in the wood, and I just can't find any of them big oaks. Another tip, this is only a quick one, always look behind you. So where you've come from, obviously you're heading in a direction looking for somebody to take a photo of, and you think, I've just took that shot down there, which I'll drop here. So I took that photo, and then I thought, I'll carry on down here, see if there's anything down here. And then I've turned around and I thought, well actually that way kind of looks better. So just keep turning around and having a look what you've missed, what you haven't seen behind you. I don't even think I'm in focus there, was I? But yeah, I'll spin the camera around and show you what I mean. Now that is probably a better shot. I probably haven't got it lined up right, but that kind of direction is probably a better shot than the one I've just took. So yeah, spin your camera around, or spin yourself around every now and then, and have a look where you've come from. So just going back to the RAW and the JPEG thing I was just talking about, what I'll do now is I'll pop the RAW photo straight from the camera of this shot, and then straight after I'll show you the edited version of that, showing you, you know, the detail you can bring back from a RAW photo. I'm terrible at this. I am really bad at this woodland photography. I think I have bought my big lens with me just on the off chance that I'm absolutely really bad today, and I think I just want to go on with one decent photo. So I might have a walk around by the pools. But next tip, your RAW files. Going back to RAW files. Obviously, when you take a photo in RAW and you've edited it, then you can save it as a JPEG, which then will reduce the size, so you can obviously save a lot more photos rather than keeping all of them in RAW. My one tip would be, is the photos you decide to keep and the photos you decide to edit, keep the RAW version as well as the finished JPEG version. The reason I say this is I have edited photos in the past where I've edited them, been happy with them, coloured them exactly how I wanted them, saved them as a JPEG, deleted the RAW, and then 2 or 3 months down the line I've looked at it again, the JPEG, the finished one, and thought, do you know what, I don't like them colours. I've gone back to try and edit them and change the colours, but you can't drag some of the highlights out that you've kind of over edited. So always keep the RAW file as well of the good photos you want to keep, because chances are you are going to improve in your editing. So say 3 or 4 months down the line, when you've got a bit better, you've learnt how to do different things in editing, such as, you know, resolve the real bad colours in the sky that you've blown out, you can always go back to the RAW image, the initial photo you took, and you can have a re-go at re-editing it, and you will, and guarantee you will make a better finished product than you did 3 months ago. So yeah, keep your RAW files after you've saved your finished one to a JPEG. I am going to show you one other thing as well. Last week on my first kind of advice tip video, I hate that, I don't know why I did that. But yeah, on my last video I did last week about lighting and things like that, I actually mentioned bracketing, and I didn't kind of explain it that well. I thought it'd be better to show you an example. So I'm going to go and try and find a composition somewhere. Won't be very good, but I'll just show you just for argument's sake. And what I'll do is I'll take the one photo how I've set my camera up to think, yeah, that's the right kind of light. It will then take, I've set my camera up then to take 2 photos either side, brightness wise, of what I've set my camera up for. So it will take one photo brighter and one photo darker. The other week when I was explaining about stops, your stops are kind of your measurements in camera kind of technology. I've done it again. Stops are kind of like markers in measures in camera technology of brightness of light. So I've set my camera up to go 2 stops overexposed to how I think it should be exposed, and 2 stops underexposed. So there will be 3 photos showing you what the camera bracketed, another photo with them combined, and another photo the finished product. I hope that makes sense. I hope I said that right, but you know what I mean. But I'll tell you when I'm going to do it, when I find something a little bit decent. I'll crack on. So that's it. I've had a go at woodland photography, and I can honestly say I suck. I am terrible at it, I really am terrible. But I don't mind trying, I don't mind failing. it's just practice. I might have took one that I don't know about, that when I get back I think, do you know what, that's not bad, I could probably look that kind of thing next time. So it's all experience, which leads me on to my last tip, which is have fun. And I know it sounds a bit cheesy to say go out and have fun, but don't go out thinking I've got to get a photo, I'm going out with my camera, I've got to get a brilliant photo. Take it that you're just going out for a walk and your camera's coming for a walk with you. And obviously you're going out to try and use your camera, but don't let it bother you if you don't get anything. And it's easy for me to say because I've been days when I've gone out and I've struggled, but I've still gone out and I've still had fun getting out the house and having a bit of a walk around, and you know, looking at things you probably wouldn't normally look at if you didn't get out with your camera. So just enjoy it. It's all a big massive learning curve. I think even what they're called, the experts, the professionals, I think they've still got to be learning every day, haven't they? So it's not a rush, it's not a race, and enjoy your photos. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, it doesn't matter how many negative remarks you get. You're doing it for you. It's your style. You colour it how you want to colour it, you take it how you want to take it, you take a photo of what you want to take a photo of, and don't think when you post it, if you're going to post it on social media sites, you know, lack of likes or lack of subscribers means anything. It doesn't. If you like the photo, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter that anybody else likes it. I've gone out some days and took a load of photos, and when I've got back I've edited them. I thought, God, that one's absolutely brilliant, I absolutely love that one, and I've stuck it on social media thinking that's my best one of the day, everyone's going to love it, and they like the one that I wasn't even going to post the most. So it just goes to show, you know, what you like everyone else doesn't. So just enjoy it. Yeah, so that's it then. I'm going to head out the forest now because I don't know where I am. I've been walking through the woodland that much, I'm completely lost. I don't know how far away I am from the car. So I'm going to walk out of here, have a look what the weather's like, how bad it is, because I can't see it properly, and head back to the car. I might get the big lens out if I see anything worth taking. If I'm hoping that you've enjoyed the video and it's probably taught you something or a little bit of advice. Like I said, if I help one person out, that's great. I did that last week, didn't I? Yeah, if I help one person out, that's great. That's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe. It helps my channel grow, helps me get out there. That's it, I think. Yeah. Until next time, thanks for watching. Now I've just got to find where I've parked the car.